everyone. Welcome to this week's installment of our Higher Ed Social weekly webinar series. I am really excited to have you guys join us here. Welcome. Come on in. We'll give it just a second as people are joining and have them come on in. And let us know in the chat, pop on in, let us know where your school you're with, where you're at, where you're tuning in from. Looks like we've got a great group registered that is going to show up today. So really, really excited. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the sound okay? Pop up in the chat, let us know. We'll do some tech housekeeping here, make sure everybody can see and hear. I am really, really, really excited about this webinar for today. This has been a super hot topic. It has been popular in the group about reporting and how to make reports actually interactive and reporting to higher ups and to managers. So really, really excited for this one today. Hey, Sarah from Johns Hopkins. And Lainey from Charleston State, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Keep those welcomes coming. Merrimack, Massachusetts. Agnes Scott in Atlanta, welcome. Hey, Sharon from Ireland. Awesome. Hopefully it's not too late for you guys over there, but we are excited you could tune in today. And of course, this session is going to be recorded. So if at any point you need to jump off or pull in a colleague, we will make sure everybody gets the recording that's afterwards. So again, my name is Cassandra Serino. You might know me from the Higher Ed Social community, either on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, one of our platforms. We're also now on Clubhouse, so come and find us. And I am super, super, super excited to introduce you guys to Josh today. He is amazing. He is the CEO of a company called Yearly, and he's going to tell us all about the cool stuff that they're doing. But really, we're here today to talk about reports, right? How do we show our metrics? How do we show our performance to the folks that may not necessarily understand what it is that we do? And what does it mean to go viral and influencers and that sort of thing? So really, really excited to have you guys all join us today and super excited to have Josh on board with us. And if at any point you guys have questions, pop them in the chat. I'll work them in and try to make sure that we get those questions answered for you either during Josh's chat or at the end if we have any questions. And do you want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Yearly?
Yeah, Cassandra, thanks for having me. This is great. We've got East Coast, West Coast, Canada, Ireland. We're really excited to talk about the digital tool. And I'm hearing a lot of it. Again, I don't know if there's something with the audio settings that, it's gone there, that we can help with. So thank you all for your time. I'm Josh Kligman with Yearly, based in the Washington, D.C. area. And I can't see the chat as I present here. So feel free to interrupt me, Cassandra, and let me know the questions as they come so I can answer them in real time. We can hold any till later if we want to. So we're going to talk about.
Whoop! Josh, did we lose you? We'll get Josh back. I think he just lost his connection there. No worries. He'll jump back in. It's always something with technology, right? It's a fun time to work in the tech space for sure. He'll jump back in here hopefully in just a second. But yeah, really, really excited to see you guys. It's been a little while since we've had a chat, a topic webinar going on. We did do a roundtable chat earlier this week on graduation, and we have a chat coming up next week about resumes. So really excited for those. We'll just give it just a second. Looks like Josh, probably his connection, I think, just fell out. So I'm going to ping him on our internal chat here. But yeah, hey, Joy from University of Maine, no worries. We're running on Higher Ed Social time today, so it's totally okay. This is we're rolling with the punches just as we normally do. So it's great. But yeah, so are you guys doing, Nicole is asking, hey, is this going to be after? Yes, we are going to have a recording. It will pop up after. So anybody who is registered will automatically get that recording. Afterwards, no worries. So no worries about that at all. We will make sure that you guys get the recording, so no worries at all. But yeah, post up in the chat. Let us know. Are you guys doing reports already? Where are these reports going to? Are you having to do them with any sort of regularity? Does your boss want weekly or monthly reports? Do you do maybe a yearly state of the industry sort of reports to your campus? Let us know in the chat. Post up while we are waiting on getting Josh back in the system. Hopefully he will be back any second. I just pinged him because he is the guy with all the magic. So really excited to get him on here today. And Yearly was, interestingly enough, just a company that I stumbled across on Twitter, of all places, and was just really impressed with the work that they were doing for a completely unrelated project that I was looking at, and their ability to make reports that are also interactive. So you could click on something and get more information, which is way better than just, a static PDF report. So Joy is saying she does monthly and yearly reviews, quarterly reviews from Karen, Michelle, annual reports for the exec team, but they don't really know what it means. I totally hear that. I get that from a lot of folks, and even in advising, we're reporting things up to people who have no idea what it is that we do in our daily lives. So it's definitely in there as well. Whoop. Okay, so Josh is there. Okay, good. We got him back in. But yeah, so really having those higher ups and trying to explain what it is that we do and what the numbers actually mean, because you can have great numbers and it doesn't mean anything. And so that's really exciting. Alex, you're working on your annual report right now for the exec team, an at a glance version. Yeah, really just distilling all of this work for the whole year. How do we make it easy to read for our people? Yeah, super, super weird. Okay. Bailey. There we go. That did it.
All right. Well, I'm not sure the last thing that you heard, but I want to jump right into it.
Go for it.
And what we're going to do here is talk about nonprofit and organizational storytelling, whether it's at the educational level with fundraising or marketing. And I want to do this in two parts. I want to first by talking about storytelling and why captivating stories can really help your cause and your mission reach your stakeholders. So if you're thinking about donors and alumni or community partners, how to get them more engaged, involved in general. And then we're going to relate that to reports, whether it's annual reports or impact reports you need to create, whether they're internal or external. I'm going to show you examples, and I'll show you some really interactive and engaging reports that we've seen out there that have helped move the needle for different university colleges and even private schools, private high schools. So, stories are really captivating for a reason. Starting as a kid through being an adult, we're drawn to the various lessons that we learned, and there's exciting.
Oh, no. Again. Josh. Oh, no. Whoop. Ooh, okay, no worries. We are going to roll with the punches. Can you guys hear and see me okay? Is that still working for you guys? Okay, you guys can hear and see me. Wonderful. No worries. Josh is in DC, so it could just be something funky on that side. But no worries. We're going to make this work. We're going to make it work. It's going to be great. Yes. Okay, so he is, we're going to get him back and figure out why his stuff is not working, if it's his connectivity or what is going on with it. But yeah, Ramona, I think you are totally in a very similar boat to a lot of people, reporting up to people who have no idea what it is that you do, maybe don't necessarily understand how it connects to goals of the university or your department. And really this idea of, just, you just post on Twitter, or it's so easy. You can just get one of the students to manage the Facebook page. And so that is a common refrain we hear a lot in the higher ed social community, for sure. for sure. And I know it's definitely takes a toll on the professionalism, right? This idea that you are a professional, you're bringing all of this experience into the work, and it's not necessarily being recognized because the people don't understand what this means, right? Oh, you just go viral all day. Why can't you make this, lame piece of content that's a PDF flyer on Instagram? Why isn't it going viral? And these folks really just don't understand how and why these platforms work and where it's going. Definitely, for sure. Awesome. Wonderful, wonderful. I really do appreciate you guys hanging with us. Demio is a newer platform. They're based here out of Tampa, but we are one of their first adopters, and sometimes it is a little funky, and it is not wanting to play friendly with us today. But we will make it work. We're gonna definitely get this fixed for you guys, because I'm really excited for you guys to chat with Josh and really see what him and Yearly are bringing to the table, which is fantastic. Let's see. Whoop. We're just going to pop that in there. And then, so keep telling us in the comments, let us know where you guys are with your reporting. Let's keep talking about that. And keep that conversation going. Is the video slow on Demio? I'm not entirely sure. We have a paid account. We've been one of their first adopters for probably about 3 years now, and so it's interesting. Sometimes it runs incredibly smooth, and it's fantastic, and sometimes we have wonky hiccups with it. And so I've been testing all morning, and it's great. I got a new webcam this morning, super excited about that, and a new background for today's webinar, and it still wants to be a problematic child. So that's okay. We'll make it work. And we'll definitely let the team at Demio know as well. So that is in there. Karen, it sounds like your lots of folks want to connect with you, which is amazing. This is fantastic. Really, really excited about what you're going to be sharing for sure. Yeah. Fantastic. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I love the idea of creating an Instagram story and, really breaking down the time it takes for everything. Because that's going to be different from campus to campus for sure. Definitely. Let's see what we've got here on the back end. Alexa's saying she has a really hard time contextualizing for the higher ups because they want social, but they don't want to invest the time and energy. Of course, it's like anything. They just assume, well, it's easy. It must get done very quickly. And so having to explain, why this takes time. That 2-minute video actually took, 7 or 8 hours to compile and shoot and edit. And a lot of time we're not really transparent about what work goes into to actually create what they're seeing on the outside. So definitely understandable in that as well. It's a common frustration for sure in the group. And hopefully reports can do something with that, really to show up what's the work that we're doing and what's its impact. So we can say, yes, we have 10,000 followers on Instagram, and here's how we can show how that impacts our enrollment funnel. Or we have a certain number of alumni in our Facebook group, but here's how that's translating into giving, that sort of thing. So reports for sure could definitely be a really helpful way of doing that. This would be really, really great. Maybe we'll even take this into a conversation on the Facebook group and be able to share and upload. We do have the file sharing capability as well in the Facebook group. So if you guys who want to share things back and forth, just want to upload stuff there, that's a great idea as well. So we can share and see what other folks are doing. Yes, Joy, we are going to have another happy hour today at 5. This has been a weekly thing that happens within the group. And we do them twice a day on Fridays, noon for our folks on the UK time schedule. So that's afternoon for them on that side. So noon Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern for our American friends. And it's been really great. We've had lots of great attendance over the past couple of weeks. John Gabriel actually moderates those, and they've been really great. You bring a snack, bring your pets, bring a glass of something wonderful, and cheers to the end of a really long work week. And so really, really excited that people are really enjoying those happy hour chats on Friday. And so we do actually now have a room on Clubhouse. So we've got some really cool things in there in the works. So we'll be doing some additional chats over there. We've got a couple of moderators, Cassandra and Lori, that are going to be helping us manage our happy hour room over there on Clubhouse. It's really just been very ad hoc. We do have a link in the Facebook group. There's a pinned post for people that are interested in submitting specific topics that they want to see or hear, or moderate themselves, right? We want this to be member driven. And so if you go in the Higher Ed Social group, go under the announcements posts that are in there. And there is one for pending topics for the Clubhouse chat. So if you're really interested, let us know. We do have lots of invites. There's also a thread for that as well under the announcement section in the Facebook group. And so definitely, if you have not yet gotten your invite to Clubhouse, come and let us know so we can get you in and you can join the fun. It is quite addicting. I did not believe Vincent when he told me that, but it's really, really interesting to listen in, and it's almost like listening to a podcast, but live. So really exciting with that there. Interesting why we are not able to pull Josh back in. I am not sure what is going on. Or if this is something on our side or if this is something on Josh's side. I'm not entirely sure. I have not gotten a ping or anything from him on anything. So I hope he's okay. And I hope he is going to jump back in. Ready for it to come into Android. Yes, Karen, that has been the biggest stumbling block for a lot of people right now, is it is not necessarily available to Android, but it has been growing by leaps and bounds. So I imagine an Android app version is not far behind. I think they're really leaning into the scarcity that it's by making it invite only and making it rare to get in. They're driving up the demand. Sort of like what we saw when Snapchat dropped their spectacles and nobody could get them and they would magically appear in the desert and in a vending machine. I think Clubhouse is really trying to capitalize on that as well. But yeah, for sure. Definitely. Alex was saying that sometimes social, they don't understand that it's its own full-time job and is often lumped in under those other duties as assigned. That is so true. I think a lot of people in our community would say that they are not, their title is not anything to do with social, but social is actually a huge piece of what they are doing. And so, yeah, that is a common refrain we hear a lot, that it just gets shoehorned into someone's duties, for sure. And so that is problematic as well. Definitely. Let's see. We're still working on getting Josh back. That's the trouble with having speakers in different areas and different locations. It's a little bit difficult for that, but no worries. We will make it happen. For those of you that are with us, what other topics would you like to see some webinars created on? A lot of times we find webinar speakers and platforms just off of the chats that are happening in the higher ed social community on Facebook. So what people are asking, what their topical issues are, and then we go out and we source a speaker and put on a webinar for them. So yeah, what do you guys want to hear about? Is there anything on your plate right now that you want help with, that you are looking for some extra input, something that could help with any of those? Post up in the chat, let us know what your current struggles are. And we will work to get a webinar or a speaker organized for this. Anything for free? Yes. We are actually working on, I'm working on pulling in a massive list of discounts for portals, platforms, things that we can use for very, very inexpensive. I have heard that a lot of social media managers and folks that are especially doing this as an extra duty are having to self-fund for these tools. Their university isn't necessarily funding it or offering any sort of reimbursement for it. They're using their own handsets, they're using their own cell phone plans. And so anything that we can do to keep the budget down, I hear you. We're gonna work on that. Inspiration for social media ideas. Okay, that's a great one. Yeah, creative inspiration. We can definitely look for that for sure. Oh, I think we got Josh back. Hey.
What,
there we
have
are.
you not heard me for the last few minutes?
Nope.
Or
nope. We haven't heard you for about 13 minutes. I think you went out.
It seems like every time I share my screen, it goes out.
Is it being weird? Okay.
Yeah, I just went through the whole presentation, but I had no idea.
No.
I have a great connection, so I don't know what's wrong. I apologize to everyone. You know, what I can do is, for everyone here, is I want to dive into some examples I have from universities and colleges, some examples of annual reports. I was taking the first half of this time to present content on storytelling. And what I thought was good, what I can do is I can record a video of myself doing the presentation that covers that and email it out to everybody.
Perfect. Yeah, we have everyone's email.
What I can do right now is just show you some examples of really engaging and interactive ways that I've seen schools and organizations that are on campuses.
We still got you.
You still got me? Oh, okay. Something.
Yep, we're still here.
Use reports to tell the story to their stakeholders. I mean, the essence of what I was saying is that using stories and examples of your alumni and people that are connected to your school within the community, really exemplify the mission that you're after, and can be the core and the essence of the stories that you tell through all types of marketing. Reports would just be one of them, and that's where I focus now. So what I can do is record that. I'm seeing some comments here that'll be helpful, and then maybe show you some examples that I have up on my screen right this second. Is that good?
That sounds great. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So as I click to the next tab, I'm just going to ask you, Cassandra, if you're still with me, and then we'll talk back and forth so that I know that we're together here.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let's try it. If you fall out again, I will shoot you an email.
Okay. So you see this here from Harvard University?
Looks like it's not sharing yet, but we can still see your video.
Okay. It says I'm sharing here. Let me share my entire screen.
That's working. That's working. You are sharing your screen. Okay, we got it. We're up. This is running.
Okay, good. So here we have an example from Harvard University and their Center for African Studies, where they created a report telling their story to their stakeholders about what they did during the 2019-2020 time period. And they did a really nice job here as they created this report of having big images, taking advantage of the idea that the web can bring more engaging ways and a different type of formatting than print can, and just show you here how things are organized with a table of contents so you can skip around. But big bold quotes and photos that can help tell their story versus lots of text on the screen. Even an opening message from their director that looks great on mobile, is dynamic on the screen, is just presented in a way that their audience probably hasn't seen before, and they did a nice creative job when laying this out. So a lot of times, at least reports I've worked on in the past, I'll open it up and there'll be a lot of content there. I like how it's kind of a minimalist style spread out here. So from a design perspective, taking advantage of what the web can offer, and bringing things to align with even their brand colors. Can you hear me? And any questions on this as we go?
so this is something they created in Yearly. If maybe you could give a little bit of a background on what Yearly is and what sort of platform where it gets its data.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So Yearly is a platform that we created here in Washington, D.C. that looks like this when you're logged in, where you can create these all these elements in your entire report, publish it so it lives on a website, and even embed it within your own college or university website. So if you're creating an annual report, you fully customize it for for the brand of your organization by adding in the right photos in the background, calling it whatever you want, choosing the fonts that you need, sharing it with your colleagues as you're building it, so you have their buy-in. And it's not so much a template, although we do have some templatized areas to get you off and running faster, but it's just a quicker, easier way to create reports that also have the option to do things like embed those engaging elements. So if I wanted to embed a video within the report, and I'll show you an example of from a school that did that here, but I'll click the video tab and I would just take the embed code from YouTube. So if I was looking at the hashtag higher ed YouTube video here that I grabbed earlier, I would grab the embed code here and I simply just copy it and paste it here and add the video into the report, and it pulls it right from YouTube. So very quickly you can create nice looking reports. And we kept in mind the idea that anyone that uses this doesn't have to have any graphic design experience. You could just, somewhat plug and play, so to speak.
That's fantastic, because I think a lot of our folks come to their roles. They're not designers. They're not website designers. They're not graphic artists. They may or may not even have access to Adobe or Canva. And so they want to make something that looks professional, right? They're in roles that already are sort of, all you do is post on Twitter. All you do is manage our Facebook page. Why can't we get a student to do that? So there's already sort of this assumption that it's not a professional position. And so anything we can do to put out showing people that our work is professional and it is just as glitzy as, the VP of Marcoms or the director of admissions or something like that. We want to be able to know that this is a professional position and that their budget is not waste.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And even while doing that, you want to make sure you can show them that you could take all those, brand standards and guidelines from the university and include those and be part of the bigger connection, so that the look and feel of whatever you're creating within what you just said is matching everything else, right? So that's why you could take your own photos and bring them in. I just use a sample here from the stock photography that we have. We have over 1 million photos on the platform from Unsplash built in, and then you go and you publish and you share. So there's a lot of things that you can do with the platform here.
That's amazing.
So I'll show you another example here. We saw Harvard. Here's one from Stanford. This isn't from the university itself. This is from the Hillel organization on the campus, and they embedded the report within their actual website here. So I show this to say that you can kind of take that polish that you're talking about, Cassandra, and use that by building in the report within the university website, just by grabbing some simple code that pops up and giving it to the right person on your team that can do that. And I'll just kind of scroll through here quickly with that.
I love that this is something that could be immediately updated. So if there's a typo, God forbid, or someone's name is incorrect, when you go to print all these reports and send them out, nobody's reading them. It goes to their mailbox, it collects dust. And if you have a typo, you can't fix it. So here, having something that's live, you link it on your website. Oh my gosh, we need an update. You update it, it publishes live. That's fantastic. Alex was saying, even though she's a graphic designer, this would save so much time because you're not handling all the layout. You're not in InDesign or Illustrator or anything trying to make your columns match anymore. This is fantastic.
Yeah, and you can do that really easily. I had a boss years ago that told me while I was creating an annual report for a nonprofit that we're going to go through it 1 million times. We're going to have 10 revisions with the advertising agency. By the way, each year I spent $16,000 with the advertising agency and $10,000 on printing. So With Yearly, for instance, or whatever you choose to use, a web-based platform, you can do it cheaper. But he said, we're going to go through all those revisions, and you're definitely going to have one mistake at the end. There's just too many names. So if that happens here, by the way, here's that embed code after you publish. I realized, I spelled report with 2 T's, and it went to the chancellor. That's a mistake. I'll remove that T. All I do is click update, and it says report updated, and then anyone that views it live doesn't see that mistake anymore.
That's fantastic. They don't need a new link. You're not sending a million emails. It's just, whoop, we fixed it. It's out there.
Yeah, exactly. Here's an organization called Student Perks that are groups of students around the country on campuses looking for change. They promote the report that we built for them, because we can build reports with our design team quickly for you in the education space. They promote it on their website. So I'll show you the report in a second, but I think the whole idea here is that they found other places to get the word out. Of course, you can go to social media and push it out, but your website's a great place where you can not only embed it, but you can promote it and try to drive traffic to it. So as I click on this, you'll see they embedded it within their website instead of full screen. They chose to do it a little bit smaller, and they tell their story in a similar way. At the University of Texas, they did the same thing, reporting their impact report from last year on their website. And I'll share this here for an example of how they really made it look like their brand. I mean, Hook 'em Horns in Texas, they're all about the orange, and they definitely carry that color throughout. So for the people that are designers or know a lot about your brand guidelines, you can pick your specific colors and include those in the report as well.
That's fantastic. We have so many people who talk about, trying to get, the smaller departments to use the right font, the right colors, and all of that. So something that would make it easy for them to have it right there. This is your outline. This is what we want you to use. Just fill it in would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And here's one more example I'll show you from another school in the state of Maryland where I am. I said I'm in DC, but I'm about a mile from the DC border, and they chose to implement a video. I won't play the sound here, but you can see how the video plays. They chose it to be smaller. A lot of people choose it to be much larger, but within Yearly, there's a lot of different layouts you can choose. This is a personal preference. So instead, talk about engaging. Instead of a letter from the head of the school, they did a video message. So they created this just for the report. It lives on YouTube, and you pull it in with the embed feed. That's fantastic. Another nice example of a report from a school that's promoted on their own website, and this one's big on storytelling. Here's a video that's much larger, taking up the whole screen, lots of custom colors throughout, and a lot of content to list, because I realize, like here, there's a lot of donors that you have to thank, especially with an annual report or an impact report. And we make it easy just to bring in that information and paste it in here and make the formatting super simple. That's fantastic. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about how the data gets into the report, like what you recommend for folks? Yeah, I'll show you. So there's a number of different ways you can do it. What you just saw there is really done with a feature we call donor list. So this is where I bring the names over. I can paste them if it's in a larger document, but if I want to type, my name here, I'll type it in, and I'll click enter, and I'll go to the next section, and the next section, and then the next one, and then goes down. You continue to build out your list, and maybe these are people that donated $10,000 and above, so it's the gold list, and then I do another one below it that I would call $5,000 and above, and it's really quick that way. You can just copy and paste that over from a Word doc, something that where you've already got this list somewhere, pop it in. Yeah, exactly. And then at the end, you want to drive donations, so you would say that you want the call to action to be something specific, like donate now to help our campus, make a contribution. You can change that today, and then the link would open up a new tab and go to your existing donation link. But when we get to customization, the whole background could be a photo of your choice or a certain color, and you can save your colors within here. So makes it really
That's
really
fantastic.
fast and easy. Yeah. So whether you choose to use Yearly or you're doing a different platform, I just want to be able to share ideas here for how you can go about that. We also have polls, which are a really fun way to engage people. So you can say like, have you been to campus lately? And just fun things throughout, and then you can look at the analytics, like the number of unique people that have viewed your reports and the results of the poll. And then if you embed it within your website, tie it to your Google Analytics and see how much time people are spending on your reports. And no matter how you create a digital report, I recommend doing that because that's something that you can't do with just a printed PDF that doesn't live on your website.
Right, right. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wanted to leave some time for Q&A if people had specific questions about challenges that they've had or questions that they have with projects that you work on or anything about that, anything that covers things I showed you today too.
Yeah. So people so Marciana says, so this app is completely free? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, so we have the app completely free and create an unlimited number of reports starting around the beginning of April. I'm thinking April 1st, we're going to have a subscription available where you can upgrade for more features, like being able to use your own fonts. Right now we have about 35 to 40 common Google fonts in the platform, but you'll be able to use your own, create a brand portal where you can keep your logo in those fonts and store different things like that. Like your color palette, store it, be able to create, at that point when we have the subscription available, you'll have to have the subscription to create unlimited reports versus just one report, and a lot of other good features. And then we'll continue to also do custom work where if anybody needed help designing a report, you come to us and our designers would create it. Or a lot of people say, oh, we have a specific audience, we have to have a print ready PDF for, so we have to create a PDF. We can do that as well for you too.
That's amazing. Yeah. So if they have, here's our copy, you guys just take care of it. That could be a service as well.
Yeah. And above all, I'm going to stop sharing so you can see me maybe a little larger. I mean, I'm here to be a resource because I showed you a few examples, but if anybody's building reports up there and you want to learn more about, things that other people in the education space are doing or other industries around the nonprofit world, I have lots of examples I can share and lots of different, design layouts and way things are approached to do things like, showcase your donors or letters from executive directors, et cetera.
That's amazing. Joy said, you just saved my life right now, Josh.
Well, if you want to sign up, Joy, you go to, Cassandra put the link in there, yearly.report on the top right. I'm going to put my email address in here, which is josh.yearly.report, in case anyone has further questions. And I said earlier that I will also supply a video. I'll make it like 10 minutes or so, just for this group talking about nonprofit education, digital storytelling, and what makes a good story. So a little bit different than what I just shared right now, but the 13 minutes where I cut out, I want you to hear that. Oh,
I'm so sorry. And you guys, I don't know if you guys mentioned that or noticed this, but Josh isn't their sales guy. He founded this company. He's the brain behind it all. So yeah, I'm really, really excited that we got a chance to chat with him today. I do apologize again for the tech issues, but what a cool platform, right? Like how much easier would this be for creating reports and pulling things together? And maybe we can even have an expanded conversation on what you guys are putting in your digital reports. Once you've had a chance to play around in the platform, what are you guys including? What metrics? Yeah.
And I see the questions here. Want me to run through these?
Okay. Yes, please.
Right. So, Julia, you asked if you can embed this into a website. Absolutely. You can embed it into a website. When you go and you publish, the code pops up right away and you can take it and embed it. The example that you saw from Stanford and from student PERGs, an on-campus group, on campuses around the country are both embedded in there. So you absolutely can do that. Sarah, you asked about, you just commented on development and donor aspects. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that you could do there to recognize your donors, even just create proposals, I think, for new donors that you're trying to cultivate and use it for pitches.
I think that'd be fantastic because right now everybody's, we're panicking. What are we doing about COVID? We've got all these little funds popping up, a student development fund, an emergency fund. You could create one report, put in what you need, copy it, and then boom, same template, put in, different verbiage. There you've got another one, different fund, but the same looking report would be fantastic.
Yeah, you could duplicate it and make it easy. It's funny, my co-founder Jeff Rum, who also owns a digital advertising agency that works just with nonprofits and community partners, including in the education space, had clients coming to him in 2017 and 2018 asking for digital reports to be built out on their website so they can do this and kind of update it every year. And they did it, but it's expensive. I mean, $10,000, let's say, to build it out. And we saw the demand there and thought, oh, this would be really cool to scale and then just offer. And we started this freemium model in May on Giving Tuesday Now. COVID hit as a way to help our business, but also help everyone in the nonprofit world and education world continue to create reports. So
this is amazing. I was blown away when I saw it and was like, we need to get them in. And we had some scheduling and trying to get that organized end of the year and everything. But I was just really, really excited to bring this to the higher ed social community because, we are often flying without a net. And so anything that we can do to level up our professional abilities and help our social media managers, especially those who are not working at campuses where they have a 17-person team and a $1 million advertising budget, but they should still be able to have the same things as those teams are. So that is fantastic. Kara has a question about features. I want to say that's on the website. Yes.
Yeah. If you go to the website and you see all the features there is not a feature that is not included in free versus us designing the report. You asked about compared to a paid subscription. That's not live yet. That'll be live around April 1st. And yes, at that time there'll be lists available, but there will be almost everything that you're getting free today. Will remain free except for the embed code. You'd have to upgrade for that and be able to create more than one report. But everything else you see listed will be there and more. We're adding more to the free actually over the next month or so.
That's amazing.
Like, a revert button in case you make mistakes and, delete a module by accident to go back. We want to keep improving it over time. And I see Kara also asked, do the reports ever expire and disappear after a certain amount of time? No.
Wow. That is amazing.
We'll host it and pay for that and keep them alive. Yeah. That
is fantastic. And for you guys that are listening, try this out this month. Let's try it. Let's compare what you guys are creating. And maybe, if you're sending these out to your senior members, your VPs, your directors in all of that, that might help convince them, hey, we were able to try all this out. Next year, we want to be able to upgrade to a paid plan. You see what we already got from it. How amazing is this? Let's roll this into our budget for next year. That could be a really great option.
Yeah, and use me as a colleague for advice, from like a design and technical perspective. I love trying to give tips out there. I see a couple other questions about the ability to upload our brand fonts when the new version with subscription launches in a few months from now. You'll be able to upload your licensed font. It's a little tricky now to have a licensed font up there because then other people could use it. So we're making that happen. Today, there's about 35 or 40 Google fonts that are on there. And a question from Karen about being able to download. So it's a live website. It lives on a URL, so there isn't anything to download. People ask if that it could be converted into a PDF. The answer is yes. I mean, just as you print out any website, even your own websites, if you go to print it out, it looks wonky and you see the URL written on the bottom and the pictures might not come out, especially if there's video or social media on there. So what you do is you essentially work with a designer. We do this at Yearly too, with quick turnarounds, to take your digital report and take all the assets you use to create it and replicate it as a print-ready PDF. So your printer, it could just live on your website, will have it print out crystal clear.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So for you guys who are watching, any other questions, pop them in the chat while we have Josh here for a few more minutes. And is there anything else that you should you think we should know, Josh? How have you seen reports being used? Campuses they're obviously loving it because it's a fantastic platform. But yeah, what else should we know?
I think that the way reports are being shared, digital reports are being shared, are different than how I've seen PDFs shared in the past. Because maybe when an organization first publishes a PDF report, you may take to Facebook and talk to your audience and say, the report's live, go to our website. But a digital report's a little bit different because people are able to track the analytics and they want to and see how it's working and how much is coming of it. It's money that you're tracking year over year. You can look at all these great analytics by hooking it up to your Google Analytics. That gives you a reason to keep going back to social media platforms and email and pushing the report out, especially if it's embedded in your website. And yes, a question here about accessibility. It is accessible, and I could provide more. Actually, I have.
That's amazing.
I have more details on it that I can provide here. I'm pulling it up so that I can send this.
That is fantastic. I totally glossed over that when you were talking about analytics, but how amazing would it be to send out a report and actually know who's opening it and how many people are reading it? And is that, donor link in there at the first page, is that generating clicks? Is the one on the 7th page not generating as much clicks? That ability for tracking what we're doing instead of just sending a report off to the ivory tower and hoping someone there read it. This is fantastic.
Yeah, great point. And I'm also putting in here, Cassandra, the accessibility.
Yes, please.
It's a little lengthy, but I want everyone to see it because it's a question that we also often get from universities. I think that Cornell University was interested in using Yearly to publish an upcoming report, and I know that was important to them and others.
Fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, we have a couple of accessibility gurus in our group, and they are always reminding us to think accessibility first, and make sure that we're creating things that are going to be useful. So for those of you in the group, any other last minute questions? Josh, I think you're in our community already. You joined us on Facebook. So
I did.
Josh is in our community, so you can follow up with him. He does have a company to run, so we promise to not bombard him with every question. But if you have questions, tag him in the group. He is there, and maybe let's follow up and let's create some reports, you guys, and then let's share them in the group. Let's see what you guys are creating. Let's share some creative ideas, some inspirational documents, and we'll definitely follow up with the universities that are already using Yearly. And ask them to pull in what they've already created, what we can learn from them.
Yeah, I can. You know what I can do? I can go into the group and share the ones that I know of and group them together so that you can click around and see these reports for inspiration.
That would be amazing.
Helpful. Okay.
Yes, please. Oh, that would be fantastic.
I'll go ahead and do that. I'll try to do that this afternoon.
Josh, you are amazing. Thank you so much. Everyone in the comments thank you so much.
Thank you all for your time and bearing with the technology.
Great.
Figured it out.
Yeah, so you guys go try it out. Let's play with this platform. Thank you so much to Josh for creating something amazing and offering it to us for free for this spring. Stephanie, you are so welcome. I love finding great new technology that's out there and disrupting our industry that we can use our powers for good. So I have the list that we were talking about at the beginning of all the options you guys want to see. And so we will make sure that we get those trainings scheduled. We'll find some experts, put them on there. We will have the recording, so we will post that, and Josh is going to get us that video. And don't forget, next week, our next webinar is on resumes and getting past applicant tracking systems. So definitely check the pinned post for those and sign up for that next webinar. And Josh, I can't thank you enough. This has been amazing. I do apologize again for the technology issues, but this has been fantastic. I think you just made a lot of people's day, and we're going to go into a great weekend. And maybe you can even join us for our happy hour at 5 o'clock.
I'd love to do it. I can't. Oh, today? Can we do it now?
This is true. Yeah, we're on every Friday, noon.
Oh, you
5.
are? All right. I'll talk to you and we'll find a time where I can join. Then I can more informally answer even more questions. That'll be great.
Perfect. Thank you so much, you guys. Thanks, you guys, for joining, and we'll see you soon in the Facebook group.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.